We have two Lely 4s that were installed probably over 5 years ago.
Right.
So we're we're in the middle, I suppose, now of our sixth grazing season on them. We try and keep around sort of 115 cows milking the year round. Our milk goes for liquid milk, and we try and keep as even a milk profile as we can throughout the year. We all have to keep busy around here, so the robots are no exception. I like to keep them full, to take the full potential out of them. So I usually aim for around at least the 4,000 litres. We're looking for a medium-sized cow, both for grazing and for cubicles. You want a medium-sized cow that's able to hold a wee bit of flesh. That's going to be able to get up and down in a cubicle and able to survive in a grazing. And one of the most important things, I suppose, is udder. You know, although the robot's pretty good at getting on cows, but you still want you as near a perfect an udder as possible. I suppose in a way you can't make cows graze out as heavy a covers, so you need to be grazing slightly lighter covers to get the cows to graze it out, because the fact they have the choice of being in here or out in the field, they'll choose where they'd rather be and what they'd rather be eating. So
they tell you what they like and they don't like. Well, I mean, what sort of height of covers do you go into?
Mobile phone height.
Mobile phone height. All mobile phones are about, I think, 4 inches or so, 4.5, unless you've got a big tablet or something.
But this year has been, I suppose, quite tricky because it has been quite cold at night and dry spells, and then bursts of growth whenever it comes on wet and one thing and another. So it's been quite, but we're quite used to grazing, and we just eyeball it, and if we think we've too much grass, we bale it out sooner rather than later to have it coming back again. And we always have the bales that either it comes on wet weather or very dry weather, then
This blade of grass that come in today, you can see here it's 3 leaves on it and very little stem down at the bottom here. So a blade of grass will never have any more than 3 leaves on it. So if you allow that grass to grow on and it's getting a new leaf at the top, the one at the bottom will be dying off. And basically what that will give you is much more stem material towards the bottom of it, which basically means you're bringing in, this stem material will have less protein and less energy in it, and you'll get lower dry matter intakes.
You're never going to get as much milk out of silage as you are got off fresh grass. So the fact the zero grazer gives me the flexibility. I can go to fields a couple of miles away and bring that grass home to them. The intakes, you know, that's one of the things I like, the amount of forage the cows are physically able to eat, and the system. The fact that it's something I enjoy doing, you know, managing the grass for the system, I don't look on it as a chore. But you have to be reasonably flexible. And during a wet weather, I'll pick a dry field and a dry level field, and I always take cows or fields on out silage rotation. You know, they could be zero grazed one time and cut for silage the next. So you just do what sits in the day. You know, cows are getting the Platinum 16 as I suppose the brand name, and then the Staler cows are getting the zero grazed nut, which is a higher fibre. It's only 15% as well. And the winter time we have the option to feed liquid feed as well, depending on what way the diet's balancing out.
Ways that you feed the ration to try and balance out that silage, and really grass shouldn't really be any different. You try and feed a concentrate that will help to balance the grass. So hence Mark would be fairly consistent in the grass quality he'll try to bring in. So we know it's going to be good quality grass, we know it's going to be high in protein, high in energy, so we get the protein right down say to 15 or 16% in the robot, and we would be increasing the levels of digestible fibre. But obviously at grass, rumen health can be challenged a wee bit, so we'll also feed buffers, yeast, things like that there. So we have acid buffs, we have yeast isolate yeast.
Cows are usually quite happy out in the field till they know it's. That's usually the way cows travel, in batches of 4s and 5s, and whenever you see them coming back in from the field, they usually buddy up and come in batches of 4s and 5s. So very seldom come in here that there's no cows in. And a thing that I was surprised at is cows passing the lane. You know, I thought I'd have to have two, like a one-way system nearly, you know, but cows adapt very quickly. You know, so they do, and like they decide where they want to be. Another thing I was surprised at is I thought whenever they get a shower of rain, they'd all come running in. If they get a shower of rain, they usually go to the hedge and then come back out again. Choose their footstep. If a cow steps in a stone, she has that time to readjust herself before she walks on. Whereas if a cow's been marched at speed, she hasn't that. You know?